Здравствуйте, товарищи. Welcome to Lvov in the Ukraine in the USSR for the final of the World Under-21 Championship. Now let's go over to our match commentator Glenn Huggett for a look at the lineup.
So as the Russian band plays the music then here on a warm afternoon, we prepare for the pre-meeting parade. The riders making their way around on the track, and a very good crowd indeed has turned up for this World Under-21 final, of course, as you may expect, here in Russia, and giving the riders a good reception as they make their way onto the track. Of course, all the riders have battled their way through many qualifying rounds all over Europe, quarter-finals, semi-finals, to have the right to be here this afternoon. And leading the field there, it's the Australian team. James Easter, of course, there, flying the flag, as always. The English lads following just behind. Bulgaria following there in third. Here come the Danes, of course, experienced at World Finals. The Italians, we'll see how the younger Danes fare. Norwegian should have some support from Scandinavia. Here come the Poles. 3 Polish riders in the field, it would seem. The Hungarian man there having some trouble with his flag, with those wires. Hungarians are there though, the Swedes, and of course at the end the Russian reserves. Taking a detailed look at the lineup, Shane Parker first and Shane Bowes, it's all Australian lads, we know those of course. And one of the pre-meeting favourites, Ipswich and England's Chris Louis. And his teammate, of course, is Dean Standing. And it looks like Dean's found himself a friend there. Well done, Dean. Number 5 in the lineup, it's Bulgarian Georgi Petronov. Looking very calm before the meeting. And Danish rider Brian Anderson, he's at number 6. Danes know all about World Finals, of course. That's what they're like at youth level. Massimo Mora, the Italian, he's at number 7. He could be one to watch, apparently. So could he. Lars Gunnestad, the young Norwegian, at number 8 in the lineup. The first of 3 Poles now. At number 9, it's Yaroslav Oluzhevsky. Looking very calm as well. And at number 10, his fellow Pole is another Yaroslav Shimokovic this time. And the third Pole is Darius Sledge, so they're well represented here, Poland. Number 12 there in the lineup, Attila Kovács, the colourful Hungarian. And Zsolt Böszörményi, the Hungarian, at number 13. Number 14, it's Swedish star Peter Karlsson, rode in England a couple of years ago in the National League Test Series. At number 15 in the lineup is Tony Rickardsson, a fellow Swede. And number 16 there, Rene Ass. He should have plenty of crowd support here. And the 2 meeting reserves coming up, that is Andreas Korolov, young Russian as a reserve, of course, and his fellow reserve is Victor Gaidin. James Easter organising the pennants to be presented, and just before the meeting we spoke to some of the people involved, starting with the Australian team manager.
James, just a few minutes to go before the start of the Under-21 final. So far everything seems to be running pretty smoothly.
Yeah, well, the tour's gone very, very well, which we're quite happy about. I'd like to get a plug in now and again, so I don't know if I can get many plugs on this video show. But in all seriousness, yes, it has gone well. It's fraught with problems when you come here, but I think everybody will agree it's run beautifully smoothly. Had a little bit of a problem with the riders crossing the border, but you kind of expect that. But the hotel was good, the hotels in Poland were good, the hosts have been good, and really and truly, it's been nice and smooth. It's been a long way, but you know, if you've got to cut the cabbage, you've got to come this far to find where the cabbages grow.
That's right. Now, it rained persistently all day yesterday and most of the night, but the track looks very good indeed.
It's funny you didn't say persistently last night, but yes, it was persistently down all evening, and we had a little bit of worries, but the track looks nice and grippy. I told the Aussie boys, whatever you see in practice, don't assume it's going to be anything like that in the meeting, because in my opinion, they were going to chuck loads of dirt on it, and it's exactly what they've done. They put a lot of dirt on it, it's rained, it's going to be very, very grippy, and I'm reasonably confident, actually. I've been very happy to get 2 boys in the final, but no doubt we'll have some objections from Australia. We've got too many guys in the final. I haven't done my job again. We should have only got 1 in the final. But they're both good. They're both good lads. They've been well looked after. They've both got good managements behind them in England, Ipswich and Glasgow. And it's nice to see the promotions of both clubs coming, and all part of them.
Thanks for the plug, Jim. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure, Mike.
There aren't many promoters that would give up a week of their life to drive all the way from Scotland to the Ukraine. How did the journey go?
Yeah, it's a long way really, mate, but no, I thoroughly enjoyed it, to be honest. It took us about 27 hours on the road itself from Zeebrugge, you know, and then of course we've still got a long way from Felixstowe to Glasgow, but no, I thoroughly enjoyed it so far.
How about the border crossings? Any problems there?
Yeah, we had a few hiccups, I think, you know, but I'll say that for Travel Plus, they were terrific, you know, they helped us through on the Polish-Russian one, but it's a kind of fearsome place to be, is it not, mate, you know?
Yeah, it's not like home, is it really?
That's for sure, you know, I don't know, it's just, you feel a bit uncomfortable, but no, it's nice to be here, and it's nice to see so many faces, you know.
Yeah. Shane Bowes went very well in practice, Neil, you must have been pleased with him then.
Yeah, we're pleased. He's looking good because he's cool and he's set up. You know, he's here to do a job. We've come a long way, mate. You know, we didn't have the luxury of flying. You know, we're a poor club, not like Ipswich that can afford to fly the riders out. No, seriously, we've come a long way and he's here to do a job. You know, no predictions. You can't predict. It's a very open field, and obviously, you know, with your boys have got to be favourites, I would have thought. But who knows? These, you know, some of the Eastern European blocks, some of the Scandinavians are all going.
Have you seen any of the other riders in action before, Neil?
Not really, not before here, you know, not that I can remember anyway, but it's a very tidy, the Norwegian looks very tidy as well, you know, it's going to be a good open field. I just hope the rain stays off for it.
OK, Neil, thanks very much indeed.
Very welcome, see you back at Foxhall someday, take care.
So the first race of the Under-21 World Final then, in red it's Massimo Mora, blue Georgi Petronov, white Peter Carlson, yellow and black Chris Louis. So heat number 1 then gets underway. And who's first away? Louis has made a good start from gate 4 and he's come right across into first place there. Petronov in second, just ahead of Mora, so the battle's on for second there. Is Petronov in that position at the moment, but it's a great start for Chris Louis. And we've lost Peter Carlson with trouble at the back, the Swede. So Louis then sprinting away as Mora and Petronov are dicing for second. Chris Louis had a bit of a horrendous time coming here. Very little sleep in the last 2 or 3 days. A couple of small meals, that's all he's been able to have as well. But it hasn't seemed to have affected him too much before the first race. He's out there leading and building up a comfortable lead in this World Under-21 final, where of course he was runner-up last season to Gert Hamburg. Over in Italy, of course. Hamburg's not here this year, but Louis is, and he's leading the way. The battle's still on for second though, Mora and Petronov. And Petronov there on the outside, he's gone wide. Back comes Mora on the inside, and the Italian has forced his way through back into second. So Petronov, the Bulgarian, in third. Can he make a late charge? Louis takes the flag, it's a dream start for him. And second place goes to the Italian Mora. Massimo Mora getting second there. Petronov getting third. Great start for Louis though, 68 seconds his winning time. He'll be delighted with that one. Peter Carlson on the centre green. And many Russian TV looking in here tonight as well, a very large crowd. And there's the other camera there in the centre of the screen. Got Danish TV crew as well. And all the press there as well. And in the middle there, that's Noddy from Ipswich, heat number 2. Dean Standing and Shane Parker riding this one in red and blue. Lars Gunnestead in yellow, Shane Bowes white. Who's made the traps? A great start from the outside by Gunnestead. Standing trying to close in. Gunnestead's in trouble though, and he's let them all through. It's Parker and Standing alongside each other into that third turn. Shane Bowes moving up into third. Oh, and Gunnestad nearly running into him there. And Gunnestad's come through, and now he's challenging Parker. So the Norwegian flyer has moved up into third. Can he close in on Parker? And Bowes looks uncomfortable at the back. But it's Dean Standing who's leading the way in heat number 2. It's a great start for the Ipswich contingent this afternoon, that's for sure. But here comes Gunnestad again. Parker's left a bit of a gap, and the Norwegian could come through. No, Parker holds him off once more. There's some close stuff going on out there. Standing still leading. We seem to have lost Shane Bowes at the back, some way behind. With a lap to go, Standing leads from Parker, and he looks like he's held off Gunnestad's challenge. Someone frantically waving the Union Jack down on the first turn, and they'll be pleased with the way it's going because Standing's heading for a win. Here he comes. Standing then, 2 Ipswich riders take the checker flag. Parker second from Gunnestad, and Bowes will be a bit disappointed with that one. 67.4 was the winning time, and we'll take a look at some of the action from heat number 2. Well, Lars Gunnestad, the young Norwegian, made a great start from gate 4, just like Louis did in heat 1. The only difference was, though, Gunnestad was soon to run into spots of trouble here. He's made a great start there, coming across Standing and Parker and beating Shane Bowes out the gate as well. But watch what happens to Gunnestad now. It's a very grippy track, the conditions allying themselves to that. And look at that, he's got some lift, he's straightened up, he's gone out wide, of course, unintentionally. And Parker and Standing, look how close they are at the front. Have sneaked through. Bowes came through as well, but there was more action to follow. A bit further on this first lap still, Shane Bowes we've seen into third, but he seemed to make a bit of a hash of it really around that third and fourth turns. Gunnestad, of course, will be annoyed with himself that he messed up the second bend, but here he comes back, closing in on Bowes as they prepare to come out the fourth turn. And probably a bit of contact there, some close hard riding between Bowes and Gunnestad, and this is where the Norwegian pulled his way through, but he had to settle for third place. Plenty of support for the riders in heat number 3, Danes, Poles and Hungarians we have in the race. So in heat 3 then we have Brian Anderson of Denmark in red. In blue it's Jaroslaw Orzelski of Poland, white Attila Kovács of Hungary and a Hungarian Zsolt Böszörményi. And there's trouble there for Brian Anderson of Denmark off gate number 1. The tapes haven't lifted up for him. So not the best of starts for the young Dane. I'm sure they'll have to do something about that. Referee Jenno Kroknai, of course, of Hungary will have to decide there, and some people getting a super view from that tower block, looking right over into the stadium. So we'll try again for heat 3, and Anderson will be hoping it works a bit better for him this time. Olszewski, the Pole, apparently is one to watch out for. He rides in blue. This is heat 3, gets underway then, and Anderson's made no mistake this time, and very wide there. Böszörményi's gone wide and he's lost some yards, that's for sure. So Anderson getting his chance to pull away here from Olszewski, who's holding second, and it's Kovács, Attila Kovács, the Hungarian, who's holding third place at the moment, but certainly pretty well spaced out in this one. Brian Anderson making no mistake, showing what he might have done first time out had the tapes lifted up for him. And in fact, we've got 1 or 2 spots of rain falling around the stadium now. Hopefully that won't turn into a deluge. Certainly Brian Anderson will be looking to boost the Danes, of course, in the main world final. Hans Nielsen has now lost his crown to Per Jonsson of Sweden. So can Brian Anderson restore some Danish pride in the world under-21 final? Gert Hamburg, of course, the Dane, is the current holder. So I'm sure Anderson will be looking to keep it in his country, and he's getting off to the perfect start here in race number 3. He's going to take the checker flag. It's a win for Brian Anderson. Second place then goes to Jaroslaw Orzelski. Third, Attila Kovács, the Hungarian, and his fellow Hungarian Zsolt Böszörményi will be ruining that first turn. 68.6 is Anderson's winning time in heat number 3. And you can see it's raining a little bit harder now. A sea of umbrellas down the home straight. So the fourth heat then, the track getting very wet now. We've got René Ass in red, the Russian. In blue it's Darius Sledge. The Pole white, Tony Rickardsson of Sweden. Yellow and black, Jaroslaw Szymkołak of Poland. So who's first way into that turn? It's a good start by Sledge, the pole. And they're slipping and sliding on that turn and crashing down there. It's Sim Kovács, the pole, hitting the safety fence. We'll take another look and see what happened to him. Well, of course, conditions getting very greasy and tricky now, what with the persistent rain. And you can see just why going into this first turn. Watch on the outside, the man to look out for in yellow and black is Jaroslav Szymkowiak, the pole. Trying to turn his machine there. Rickardsson of Sweden, he's turned as well in white. And as he has done, the Polish rider has come sliding off there, Szymkowiak, so not the best of starts for him really. Hitting that safety fence, and we wait to see if the Hungarian ref will allow all four back. Well, he's back to his feet, that's good to see, and his bike being dragged onto the inside there. Slipping across the wet surface very easily, and of course the young pole there, Szymkowiak, covered. So they're all four back though in the rerun, caked in shale. So they must try once more. And it is teeming down, it is very wet indeed. The starting marshal's not happy with something there. 2 whistles from the crowd. It really is pouring down. Which must be cast some doubts as to whether the meeting will proceed if it continues like this. And we've got communications now as well from the centre green. He's standing on the football pitch there. He's doubled up as the football stadium as well. The stadium where this final is held in here in Lvov. The population 780,000 in this city, but quite a few of them have turned up here this afternoon. Who's first away? It's a good start again though by Sledge this time, and Rene Ass, the home favourite, trying to come through, but he's in red and he's gone back into third place. So it's Rickardsson holding second at the moment in the wet and the grime. For a very mucky heat number 4. It's Sledge who's still leading the way from Rickardsson, and Ass is there in third. And in fact, it's not a very good heat for Szymkowiak at all. He's pulled out at the back now in yellow and black. So we're just down to 3. It's still Sledge leading from Carlson. And Ash trying to close in. All Rickardsson in trouble there. It's very slippery out there indeed, as you can see. And in fact, Rickardsson is slowing down. And it's allowed Rene Ass to come through. And some applause, I think that is, from the Russian fans, because Ass has moved up to second place now. You can see there, they're cheering him on. They're well behind him. There's a lap to go, but it's Sledge who's leading the pole. Of course, there's no question, no doubting at all on who the crowd's favourite is here. Rene Ass, he's holding second, left to settle for that as well, because it's Sledge who takes the flag. Cheers for him, but big cheers for second for Rene Ass as well. Caked in shale. Third place will be Rickardsson. He's going to finish, it looks like. 69.6 was Dariusz Sledge's winning time, as Rickardsson gets a point for third. It's a good start for the Polish rider and also for the Russian rider Rene Ass. Well, that'll keep you warm there. Plenty of food available. Russian soldiers getting a bit peckish as well. So in this miserable weather we could well do without. So the fifth heat then, riding in red is Massimo Mora, the Italian. Attila Kovács is in yellow. Shane Parker riding in white, and in red Jaroslav Szymkowiak, who pulled out in the previous race. Two on the trot for him. What can he do this time? He's got his bike sorted out, I'd say, making a good start into that first turn. Shane Parker trying to move up into third, but it's Mora who's holding second at the moment with Kovács at the back. So Szymkowiak is leading the way. From Mora, Shane Parker back there in third. It's going to be very difficult for anyone out there now to close in, and in fact Parker can move up into second because Mora went horrendously wide. Lost control there on the greasy surface, and he's gone back to third. So can Shane Parker hold on to this now, or even close in on Szymkowiak at all? And we've lost Kovács at the back, victim of the difficult conditions, so the Hungarian not having the best of starts to this meeting. Certainly the riders though, giving it 100% effort here in these conditions, and they must be applauded for that. 1 lap to go. Szymkowiak is that far away from victory. Parker is still holding second ahead of Mora. The Italian trying to close in on the Australian. It's his last chance though, coming around these turns for the last time. Looks like Parker's going to hold on. Szymkowiak wins, and Parker's got the second there ahead of Mora. 71.4 is the winning time. We'll take a look at some of the action from race number 5. Well, Massimo Mora, the Italian, was looking good for second place behind Szymkowiak, but he lost control badly here in the conditions, and it's thrown him wide. And fortunately, Shane Parker in third sees his chance now on the inside. And Mora realises he's blown it, he's gone perilously wide, and Parker says thank you very much and grabs second place. Race number 6 in red, it's Darius Sledge. In blue, Brian Anderson. In white, Georgi Petronov, and in yellow and black, Shane Bowes. So Brosey, I'm sure, from Glasgow, of course, we hope to do better than heat 2, where he came last. This is heat number 6, and unluckily for Shane, the track's in a worse state than it was then. He's off gate 4, which has been fairly productive so far this afternoon. So this is heat number 6, the World Under-21 final here in the Ukraine, in the Soviet Union. Away they speed. Who's made the start? It's a good start by Sledge, and Bowes on the outside there. Oh, he's come down. Shane Bowes is down. The race is stopped. Unfortunately, we can't bring you that. Well, he's back on his feet. Unluckily, we couldn't see that. We saw the back of that gentleman's head. Let's take a look at him from the front. Well, we're back to the racing then. It's the rerun of heat number 6 with all 4 riders back in. Shane Bowes getting a second bite at the cherry. But again, he's not made the best of starts, so in fact he's taken a little bit wide there. And it's Darius Sledge of Poland who's leading, but he's lifting into that third turn, and it's cost him some yards. It's Brian Anderson who's sneaked up the inside, and another faller there at the back. This time it's Petronov. And Bowes avoided him, thankfully. But it's Anderson leading from Sledge, and Shane Bowes in third, so Petronov biting the dust there, or the very wet dust, on the third and fourth turn. And it's very mucky out there, and Shane Bowes has come through into second place now. And 1 or 2 people cheering for him there, so Bowes has got his fans in the crowd. And poor Sledge has gone from first to third. He's contrived that, because he's made so many mistakes on the difficult surface. Still, I'm sure Brian Anderson won't worry about it, the Danishman, who's leading the way with a lap to go. He won his first one, heat number 3, and he's looking on good form. Just can't hold back these Danes. Shane Bowes is the man in second then, ahead of Sledge now, no Petronov of course. And in fact Bowes in trouble almost there, but he's just got himself back in line. So it's a win there for Brian Anderson. Bowes holding on to second, and that was a bit of a awkward race for some of them. Sledge got the third. We'll see just what happened to that man there. Well, firstly, Darius Sledge, the Polish rider, got into a bit of trouble here, leading, and look at that, he's lifting all the way to that third turn. Some costly lift for him as well, because it allowed Brian Anderson of Denmark to come through on the inside. So Sledge will be ruined that, just couldn't get his machine down. Wheeling all the way in, Anderson's come through. And now watch for third place, of course, it's Georgi Petronov, the Bulgarian, ahead of Shane Bowes, the Aussie. But Petronov about to run into difficulty here as he comes round the third and fourth turn. He's overlocked it there, and he's come sliding off, and fortunately Bowes avoided him on the inside. Well, they're getting a very good view outside the stadium, and those inside it would have paid 10 rubles to come in this afternoon, which is the equivalent of £10, which is a lot of money in this area. And the Union flag there, proudly flying on the first turn. Heat number 7 we're up to now. Rene Ass, Dean Standing, Peter Carlson lining up in this one. Who's first away? That's a very tight first turn, and Dean Standing got the rough end of that one. And it's Ass who's away. Olszewski is up there chasing him in second, and Standing's got some work to do now. Can he force his way through? The Russian crowd are whistling here, they're cheering for their man. They're delighted with this. Look at that, there's a lap gone, and it's Rene Ass who's leading the way. Jaroslaw Olszewski, the Pole, is up there in second place, ahead of Peter Carlson, and Dean Standing's at the back. And Carlson's lifted alarmingly there. That's horrendous lift, and Standing has gone into Carlson's bike. What an extraordinary incident. It's worth seeing that once more. Well, this was an alarming incident here for Peter Carlson, the Swede, of course, who rides for Wolves in the British League. Watch what happens there. Up he goes. Horrendous lift on the inside. He's wheelied that right up. It's thrown him off the back. He's come crashing down. But this is strange. Watch for Dean Standing. Now, it would appear from here he has time to avoid the machine, but he doesn't seem to be able to do so. He's gone rolling into Carlson's bike. It's brought Dean down as well, of course. But the end result, I should imagine, will be an exclusion there for Peter Carlson. Well, Dean Standing, thankfully, is okay. He's back to his feet. The ambulance has come on, though, for Swedish star Peter Carlson. It really was an alarming spill he took on that top turn. But he appears to be okay, which is good to see, of course. A lot of concern all round. The rerun of Heat 7, though, is without Peter Carlson. He's excluded. Dean Standing then on borrowed machinery in the rerun. He's on Shane Bose's bike. And Standing coming around these first and second turns, but he's in third. It's Rene Ass again, and Olszewski, who's up there in second. So Ass and Olszewski dicing for the lead here with Standing in third. And the crowd cheering again here because they know that Rene Ass has got to try and force his way round now. It's the Polishman, Jaroslaw Olszewski, who's leading the way in red, and Rene Ass is chasing him hard. Oh, and Olszewski in trouble as well. He's lifted, he's lost some yards, and Ass has come through. Well, drama again in this heat. So it's Rene Ass then, to the delight of the Soviet crowd, who leads. And you must wonder now, Dean Standing, well, how will that affect his chances? On a different bike. But with a lap to go, Rene Ass is looking good. He's leading the way in Heat 7. The crowd are loving every second of this. They're really getting behind their rider. Olszewski's there in second, Standing, trying hard to close in. It's very difficult there. It must be horrendous the way he's getting filled in when you're behind. But Rene Ass will take the flag. Olszewski holds on to second, Standing third. 70.6 the winning time. We'll take another look and see just what happened to Olszewski on that bend. Well, just like Peter Carlson, some alarming lift here for Jaroslaw Olszewski. Around that third and fourth turn with Rene Ass chasing him hard. There, right up, gets a horrendous lift. No chance of him, really. Couldn't have expected that at all. And he did very well indeed. It must be said to bring it back under control. Heart-stopping moment for the Polish rider, but of course it allowed the Soviet man Rene Ass to come through on the inside. And to the delight of the Soviet crowd, as you can see there, he went on to take the checkered flag. Well, a very big rail network in the Soviet Union. And that train there is different from the ones we're used to with British Rail. I wonder where that's off to. It's certainly long enough. It's still going. Well, how many more carriages has it got? How many is that? 20? More? Oh, that's the end of it. Well, number 8, we've just got 4 riders on the track, as we know. Chris Louis red, Lars Gunnestad in blue. Riding it in white is the Hungarian Zsolt Böszörményi. And in yellow and black is the Swede, Tony Rickardsson. So Chris Louis then, Heat 1's convincing winner from Gate 4, now starts on the opposite end of the grid, in red off Gate 1. And the best start though is made by Gunnestad from Gate 2. He's gone a bit wide though, and Chris Louis could capitalise here, and he has done. It's Louis leading into turn 3. Gunnestad though driving back underneath the Ipswich rider. Can Louis hold him off? He can do. It's Louis leading from Gunnestad. And Rickardsson and Böszörményi dicing for third. Fortunately, the rain appears to have held off now. We hope it does for the rest of the meeting. As Chris Louis continues to lead from Gunnestad in race number 8. It's Böszörményi who's holding third ahead of Rickardsson still. So it's starting off well for Chris Louis on his ever-reliable GMs. Tuned, of course, by Trevor Hedge back in the UK. And Chris, who prepared superbly for this meeting, he got a 15-point maximum for his club Ipswich on Thursday night. So he's in fine form, as he has been all season, really, boasting a 10-point average in the English National League. And he's showing them just why here in the Soviet Union. 2 wins out of 2 for Chris Louis. Lars Gunnestad second, and third place went to Zsolt Böszörményi ahead of Tony Rickardsson. 69.8 is Chris's winning time. 2 wins out of 2 then for the Ipswich rider. 2 right on the trot for Tony Rickardsson. He's in blue, Shane Bowes red. Olszewski in white, Marcelo Mora in yellow. Who's first away? It's a good start there by Rickardsson, and he's away down that back straight. And unfortunately, as we speak, the rain has come back again. It will not leave us alone. Tony Rickardsson is out there in first place. And he's being pushed all the way though by Jaroslav Orlowski. But Shane Boze's at the back. The rain pouring down now. It's atrocious conditions for Speedway. And Boze's come through. In fact, there's problems there for Massimo Mora. So the Italian is in trouble. So Mora's pulled out. Shane Bose has moved up into third behind Ozowski. As Ricardson pulls away, they haven't got a hope of catching him really. The conditions are atrocious, they really are. The meeting certainly would have been called off now in England, a meeting. But they're continuing over here, and the riders are still going for it, it must be said. Good full credit to them. Tony Ricardson's lucky, he's out in first place, so he's not too bothered, he's not getting filled in too much. He's going to take the checker flag. It's a win then for Tony Ricardson, the Swede, and Shane Bose has managed to get through to second ahead of Jaroslav Orlowski. 68.8 is Ricardson's winning time, recovering from his last in the previous ride. So 3 more points for the Swede. Heat 10, it's still teeming down, as you can see. The track is atrocious. Zsolt Bozsományi is in red, the Hungarian. In blue it's Shane Parker, Rene Us in white, and in yellow and black is Petronov of Bulgaria, Georgi Petronov. This is heat number 10. Teeming down, bucketing down, call it what you like, it just will not stop raining. And they're slipping and sliding their way to that first turn. Shane Parker's made the best of starts. Once they've re-emerged from that brolly, we can see that Parker leads into the third turn. Second place is Rene As, the home favourite. They'll do exceptionally well to stay on now. It's almost a river on the home straight. And it's just as well that the tracks out here can take a lot of water, because that's just what it's turning into now, a swimming pool. It's turning into a quagmire, and it doesn't look like it's going to hold much more. He has got to stop pretty quick. Shane Parker's out there leading the way, and it's still Rene As in second, ahead of Bozsományi and Petronov at the back. And you certainly cannot expect riders to dice too much in these conditions. Parker continues to lead. It's imperative you get out the starts now, and that's just what Shane Parker did. And I'm sure he is thinking about sunny Australia at the moment. But he's leading the way here in heat 10. That's something to ease his thoughts somewhat. Parker heading towards his first race win then. 3 points for the Ipswich man. Second place goes to Rene As, the Soviet. Third it goes to Zsolt Bozsományi, the Hungarian. So Shane's winning time 73.4. That's 5 and 6 seconds slower than some of the earlier winning times. And that's one way of keeping the rain off your head. A bit unconventional. And there's another way. Completely wrapping yourself up in some kind of plastic covering there. If you arrived here without your umbrella, but it's not daunting, those flags, they're still waving away. Heat 11, Lars Gunnestad red, Darius Sledge yellow, Attila Kovács blue, and in white it's Korolev, the reserve. He's come in for the injured Peter Carlson, who's pulled out. So a ride then for Andrei Korolev, the Soviet reserve, and he's not doing too bad at the moment, but leading the way in red it's Lars Gunnestad, the Norwegian, ahead of Darius Sledge. And Korolev's up there in third, and he's challenging now on the inside. He's trying to find a way past Sledge if he can, and he's done so on that inside, and he's moving right up on Gunnestad now. And the Soviet crowd are getting behind Andrei Korolev. Here he comes on the inside of Gunnestad, but the Norwegian is holding him off. And as they come down the canal, which is the home straight, it's still Gunnestad leading the way, although Korolev is pushing him all the way. Sad to see Peter Carlson withdrawing, but he did have a nasty injury, of course. And Korolev is seizing his chance, and he's moved through on the inside. Can Gunnestad come back at him? Here he comes. There's collision there between the two, and they're not giving an inch, are they, even in these conditions? It's Korolev who's away. He's only a meeting reserve, but he's grabbing his chance with both hands here. And the crowd enjoying every second of this, of course, the Soviets. They've got a heat winner. So Korolev then takes the flag ahead of Gunnestad. He pushed and hounded him all the way. The cannon's gone off once more over behind the first and second turn. There he goes. It's at 73.2 is his time. Let's see just how he pulled it off. Well, some excellent racing going on here despite the conditions. They really, you must give them full credit the way they're going for it here. It is a world final, and that's what they're bearing in mind. Gunnestad is leading, the Norwegian. But here comes Korolev, the Soviet reserve, on the inside of Gunnestad. Probably Gunnestad doesn't think he's going to come through, but he does. And he's forced his way through to the delight of the crowd on the home straight. The majority, of course, are obviously Soviets, so they're delighted to see Andrei Korolev not only get a ride, but show exactly what he's made of. Gunnestad, of course, still persisting, one of the top Scandinavian riders, and he doesn't give up here, trying to come through again, and colliding with Korolev there. Whacking into each other as they enter that first turn once more. Some hard riding going on between these two youngsters. But Korolev, showing what a tough cookie he is, not budging at all and holding on to his line as best he can. Holding off that stern challenge from Gunnestad, and that's where Gunnestad lost it. And from there on in, Korolev managed to hold on and get an excellent win. Well, that's what they're chasing here this afternoon. The medals there on the rostrum on the centre green. Heat 12, Chris Louis still unbeaten in blue, Dean Stanning yellow and black. In red is Yaroslav Zhimkovac, the pole, and in white, Brian Anderson. This is Heat 12. Who's first away is Louis into that first turn, just ahead of Anderson, and Dean Stanning's gone to the back. There was feverish activity in Dean's camp, swapping his frames over. Of course, he had that little crash in his last ride where he ran into Peter Carlson. And so Dean Stanning is struggling a bit at the back now. As you can see, the conditions seem to be, the track seems to be getting worse. Really taking it carefully around those bends. And it doesn't look too good for Stanning at all. He looks very unhappy out there. Chris Louis is comfortably leading the way. He's not perturbed whatsoever. And he's very clean as well. Brian Anderson is the man in second, with Zhimkovac in third. Anderson, of course, who was also unbeaten like Chris Louis, I should have said, but he could be slipping. And in fact, we got a faller at the back there behind Chris Louis. The riders have ground to a halt, and there it is. The riders come to a halt there in yellow and black. That's Dean Stanning who's come down. Well, as you saw, Dean was okay, picked himself back up, but he's excluded from the rerun, and it hasn't gone Dean Stanning's way at all this afternoon. Now eliminated from any chance of getting anywhere at all, so commiserations there to Dean. So he must go with Chris Louis again, Brian Anderson and Yaroslav Zhimkovac. Just three riders for Heat 12, the last heat before the interval, and a bit of movement there on the inside. That was Zhimkovac, the pole, but he hasn't perturbed them. They're still away. It's Louis, and he's under pressure on the outside from Anderson. Two riders were both unbeaten, remember. Into that third turn again, it's Anderson on the outside. Chris Louis trying to hold him off and drives through again on the inside. It's super speedway riding from these two. In the conditions, of course, you can't emphasise that enough, but they're still riding superbly well. It's Chris Louis who's leading from Brian Anderson. So the Englishman leads the Dane, with Yaroslav Zhimkovac at the back now. He'll get a point for third, providing he can stay on, of course. But it's Louis who's leading Heat 12, the rerun, just as he was in the first attempt. Brian Anderson then not seizing his second bite of the cherry. So this will be a tremendous confidence morale booster for Chris Louis. He'll go into the interval undefeated, providing he can hang on now. And he's got a lap in which to do so. And of course, Brian Anderson will be pleased. 8 points from the 3 rides at this stage. Still up there with a shout, hanging on to Chris's coattails. But Chris Louis then, it's 3 down and 2 to go for the Ipswich rider. He takes the flag. So second place goes to Anderson. Zhimkovac gets the third place, point for the Polish man there. 72.4 was the winning time for Chris Louis. 3 rides, 3 wins.
Shane, things have gone pretty well in your first 3 races, 2 seconds and a good win in your last one. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling confident. You got to feel confident. Sort of, I've got a couple of hard. I mean, the 2 last heats are hard, but I know I can do it if I can get the gate. The race is pretty well over because it's so wet out there. You would have got round better if you bought your flippers.
Shane, which gates are best at the moment? Has it changed much since we had that heavy shower?
One really isn't the best because sort of everybody comes down, and your 2 seems to be the good gate at the moment. I've got a gate 4 and a gate 1 to come up, so we'll just win them both.
Good man. All the best.
See ya.
Well, the first task is that the machines have to be weighed and they have to be under 80 kilograms. That's the FIM rule. Chris Louis there, getting his machine done. And it's a little bit different the way they're weighed out here. And exactly on 80 there, so Chris Louis' bike has passed. Well, the second test is that the carburettor and the jets sizes are checked, and the carburettor is then sealed so the jets cannot be changed. And the third test is for decibel levels. It must not exceed 102 decibels at 3,800 revs. So Neil McFarlane there assisting Shane Bowes. It's his machine that's under scrutiny now. The gentleman with the rev counter will try any second when Neil McFarlane gets the bike started. There he goes. So getting his hands dirty for a change there, Neil. So there's a chap there with the checking the revs. 3,800 revs it must be. And the other gentleman on the other side of the machine has the decibel level counter. Thumbs up. I think Shane Bowes has passed. Well, nice to have a quick word from Shane there during the interval. And just before the conditions of the machines, a lot better then than they are now, that's for sure. This is race 13, the first one after the interval. We've got Massimo Mora in yellow, Dean Stanning red, in white Darius Sledge. There's Dean Stanning there off gate number 1. And in blue, it's Bozami of Hungary, Zolta Bozamini. Heat 13 gets underway. Who will it be lucky for? Dean Stanning's not made a good start there though. He's struggled since his fall, of course. But no problems at all there for Sledge, the pole. It's Darius Sledge out there in first place. Second place, hot on his heels, is Bozamani, the Hungarian. A different angle from this one, heat 13. Gives you a good idea, a slightly closer up idea of the track conditions as they are at the moment. But they don't seem to be hindering Darius Sledge at all, although he's in trouble on the third turn. That's desperate bad luck for the young pole. He pulls out of that one. So a relief there for Zsolt Bozsamányi, the Hungarian. He can take over now as race leader. So Mora, the Italian, is behind him, and Dean standing there moving up into third place now. Desperate bad luck for Darius Sledge. So Bozsamányi can help himself to a race win with a lap to go. Mora still holds second ahead of Standing. Not quite sure how they ride meters on the continent. Certainly people like Dean Standing, Chris Louis and the other lads from the National League wouldn't be used to riding in these sort of conditions, that's for sure. The checker flag goes out though to the Hungarian. It's the first race win there for Bozsamányi. Second place goes to Mora. Dean Standing third. Commiserations to Darius Sledge there. 72.6 was the winning time for Zsolt Bozsamányi. And he'll be pleased to get a race win under his belt. And the Ipswich contingent, they have come a long way from Suffolk, haven't they, to be here. Heat 14 we're up to now. We've got Jaroslaw Olszewski of Poland. He rides in yellow. Lars Gunnestad in white. In red, Georgi Petronov. And riding in blue is Jaroslaw Szymkowiak. So two poles in this one. So the 14th race. Lars Gunnestad, he's on 5 points so far. Only Olszewski with 5 is the other rider in contention really at this stage. So Gunnestad in white, one to look out for. Olszewski in yellow and black. Heat 14 gets underway. Gunnestad's made a good start there into that first turn. Olszewski on the inside trying to come through there, and he has done. Past Petronov, although he's in trouble though. Petronov's come back. It's desperate bad luck. More engine problems, and in fact Petronov almost grinding to a halt there in the muck on that third and fourth turn. And Gunnestad took evasive action, but he's gone back to second now, and in fact Petronov's in trouble here. He's struggling to get round. Well, he's made it around the first and second turns again. He's got a comfortable lead over Szymkowiak. But what an eventful race here for Petronov. He almost ground to a halt in the mud. As that has happened, it's allowed Olszewski to pull away from Gunnestad. There is Gunnestad in second, but he's lost some ground now. Although for third, there's still a battle going on here, and Petronov is in real trouble. He's gone to the back now. He just cannot get to grips with the surface at all. Szymkowiak has moved up into third, but it is still Olszewski who's leading the way from Gunnestad. And this will put Olszewski on 8 points with the right to go. It could earn him a rostrum place. or a runoff perhaps. So Yaroslav Olszewski, the Pole, takes the checker flag ahead of Lars Gunnestad. Third place is going to go to Georgi Petronov, the Bulgarian. 75.6 was the winning time, and there goes Petronov. Let's see just what happened to him earlier. This was quite extraordinary what happened to Georgi Petronov, the Bulgarian, in red. Here he comes, this is on the first lap into that third turn, and there, he's locked up a lot there, side in, side on in, going around the bend, and he's almost come to a stop. He's straightened up again quickly, but he's still going. Gunnestad coming around behind him there. Had to take some evasive action to avoid the Bulgarian, and he managed to do so, thankfully. See one or two nasty crashes up there, and Petronov, well, he couldn't get it together after that. So in red it's Tony Rickardsson, the Swede. In blue it's another ride for Andrei Korolev, the Soviet reserve from Peter Carlson, of course. Brian Anderson in white, and in yellow-black Shane Parker. This is heat number 15. Shane Parker's got 7 points so far, so he's still in the hunt. Tony Rickardsson, he's down on 4. And Brian Anderson, well, of course, he's on 8. Just dropped 1 point to Chris Lewis, so Anderson definitely in the hunt. And at last, the sun has appeared here in Lvov, which is good to see. Probably just in the nick of time, although the way they were going, it's difficult to see if they would have actually abandoned it. They seem they had their hearts set on finishing, and they should be able to now. Let's hope the sun stays. Heat 15. It's Rickardsson on red, in red from gate 1, who's made the best start there. Parker sneaking through on the inside there because Anderson went a bit wide, and Anderson could be in trouble now. He's at the back, and that's the last thing he needed. It's Rickardsson who leads. Korolev is in second ahead of Shane Parker, and the Soviet fans cheering on Andrei Korolev. Parker holds third ahead of Anderson, and this could severely dent Brian Anderson's hopes. It's good news for Chris Louis. Anderson just a point behind him, but he's at the back. Shane Parker's holding third behind Korolev, as Rickardsson, the Swede, pulls away. Rickardson's won his previous ride, and he's heading for another race win here. Shane Parker's still there in third ahead of Brian Anderson, but as Shane said in his interview, you've got to make the starts, really. That's what Rickardsson did, and with a lap to go, it's proving decisive for him. So the young Swede then, who knows, could he follow in the footsteps of Per Jonsson, the current world champion, of course, from Sweden. Here comes Rickardsson. Rickardsson wins. He takes the checker flag in the 15th heat. Second place goes to Korolev, and Shane Parker third. And that's a severe blow to Brian Anderson's hopes. 75.4 was Tony Rickardsson's winning time. 2 wins on the trot for the Swede. 16th race off gate 1 in red is Attila Kovács, the Hungarian. In blue, Shane Bowes. White, Chris Louis. Yellow and black, Rene Ass. And that's in fact on the outside there, just moving away from the tapes. So this is a crunch heat, this one. Chris Louis is unbeaten, remember. Rene Ass has 7. Shane Bowes really a bit out of contention, as is Kovács. So really it's Ass and Louis to keep your eyes on. Louis off gate 3, just digging himself out of the groove there. So a tense heat, this one, number 16. Ass and Louis on the outside of each other, gates 3 and 4. Also no prize for guessing who the majority of the crowd will be cheering on. They'll all be cheering for Rene Ass, of course, the Soviet man. And he's out in the next heat as well, so it's 2 on the trot for Rene Ass. Well, this is heat 16. Certainly taking a long time to settle the riders, probably feeling the tension a bit. And they're under orders now. Who's first away, and Rene Ass has made a good start there, so has Bowes. Chris Louis not making one of his better ones. He's in third. Behind Bowes is Rene Ass who's leading the way, and the Soviet fans will be pleased with that. Shane Bowes is holding second. Can Louis move up the field? So Louis back in third, and the Soviet fans can sense that Ass could claw himself back into it here. So Chris Louis is going to try and fight his way through if he can past Shane Bowes. It's not good news for Chris at all, and Bowes getting some lift there, but he's still back under control. And it could allow Louis to pull up a bit now. Bowes has gone out wide again, and he's come sliding off. So Shane Bowes falls. Chris Louis then has got second place now. That could be a bit of relief for him. There's a lap to go. Rene Ash, to the delight of the crowd, is leading the way over the man who is currently unbeaten. So Louis may have to settle for second place in race number 16. This could be a very important win for Rene Ash. He's going to take the checker flag. The Russian fans are happy with that indeed. Chris Louis then will finish in second place. The cannon goes off once more to signify a Russian win. 72 seconds, Rene's winning time. Shane Bowes, who didn't manage to finish the race, he got up and got up to the centre green. And delight there for the Russians. So the 17th race, and the leaders with one race to go. Chris Louis on 11, Rene Ash is on 10, and we've got Tony Ricardson up there on the same. So it's getting pretty close. Rene Ash is in this one. He's in white, so they'll be cheering for him, and he's made a good start there. He's under pressure from Lars Gunnestad on the inside as Brian Anderson goes wide. It's Rene Ash who scorches into the lead ahead of Gunnestad. Mora, the Italian, goes to the back, but all eyes on Rene Ash. This will put him on 13 if he can hang on. So they're cheering wildly for him now, the young Sovietman. He leads the way. Massimo Mora is holding second, but he's passed there. He's overtaken on the inside by Gunnestad, the Norwegian. But it's Rene Ash who's leading the way just when he needed to. This will put him on 13. Can he hold on? It will put the pressure on Chris Louis in the final heat. So Rene Ash then, in heat 17, leads the way from Lars Gunnestad. Brian Anderson is up there as well. But the Russian fans are getting behind Rene Ash now. Can he lift the World Under-21 crown in his own country? What a boost that would be for Russian Speedway. But he's under pressure though. Gunnestad trying to drive through on the inside. And Ash is trying to close him down. Can he do so? He just held him off. That was close. Gunnestad there pushed him all the way. But Rene Ash held on. 70.4 was his time. And Gunnestad's unhappy. Replacing Peter Carlson, of course. In blue we've got Böszörményi, in white Shim Kaliak, and in yellow and black Shane Bowes. Bowes off the outside. Yaroslav Shim Kaliak off Poland there alongside him. 19 gets underway. Who's first away? It's Bowes, is it? He's into that first turn. And he's going round it. Oh no, he's collided there with the Hungarian, Böszörményi. And both riders have come crashing down on that second turn. That looked horrendous. Let's take another look. Well, this was a very tight first and second turn indeed. Shane Bowes has made the best of the starts there on the outside. But keep your eyes also on Zsolt Böszörményi, the Hungarian. Just behind him there. Straightens up a little bit. And from here it would appear that he clips Shane Bowes' back wheel and it throws the Hungarian catapulting off his machine in a spectacular way. Bowes has been brought crashing down as well. And unfortunately the Hungarian hits that fence back first. So both riders there, a spluttering halt indeed to race 19, we hope. So the rerun then of the 19th race, remember, just down to 3 riders only now. Andrei Korolev still, the Soviet reserve in red. Yaroslav Shimkaliak in white and Shane Bowes yellow and black. So the second ride for Korolev. Tagadim took the other ride where they replaced Peter Carlson. So heat 19 gets underway, and who's first away this time? Bowes not making the best of starts. In fact, he's under pressure there from Korolev. It's Shimkaliak who's first away, Korolev in second and Bowes in third. So the Polishman then, Shimkaliak, leads the way from Korolev, the Soviet man. Bowes unable to close in really. And obviously Shimkaliak aiming to finish with a flourish here. Korolev's up there behind him, chasing him hard. And Korolev, the Soviet reserve, has looked pretty impressive in the rise he's had so far this afternoon. And he's holding second place at the moment, but he's really unable to close in on Shimkaliak at all. So the Pole looking to get off to a win here, get a race win under his belt, I should say. Oh, in fact, Korolev in trouble at the back there, and he's come crashing off, and Shane Bowes got his bike down very quickly indeed. It's certainly worth seeing that incident once more. Well, a strange incident indeed here, involving the Russian rider, Andrei Korolev. Watch for him in red. He's going close to that fence, and he seems to lose control in a big way there. He's come sliding off his machine. It's thrown him off rather there, and Shane Bowes has got his bike down very quickly indeed. That's great laying down by the... This is the 20th heat then, and it's the crunch heat. There's Chris Louis in yellow and black on the outside, and alongside him in white there, Jaroslaw Olszewski. He's on 8 points, he could still get on the rostrum. All the English followers, etc., we hope he can just hold his nerve here. There's his teammate there, almost sinking in the mud. Gate 1 is Shane Parker. So as the 4 riders wallow at the gate in the final heat, this is where it's all decided. Green light on, away they speed. Who's first away? It's a good start by the pole, but here comes Louis sweeping around the outside and into first place. It's a terrific gate and first and second turn by Louis, and he's away. Chris Louis leads. Olszewski is there in second place. And this is just what they were all hoping for in the Witches and the England camp. Chris Louis leads. If he can hold on, he's the world under-21 champion. He'll be hoping and praying these ultra-quick GMs of his can hold on now in this final heat. Olszewski holds second, but Chris Louis is looking good in first place. There'll be a lot of fingernails being bit now in the Chris Louis camp, I'm sure. Dad John Louis over here, of course, managing the England party, so to speak. Chris's girlfriend Julie's here as well, and a lot of fans. And Chris is nearly there. He's got less than a lap to hold on. It's going to be a stupendous moment in the career of Chris Louis. Round the third and fourth turns again. He's going to do it. Chris Louis of Ipswich in England has won it in heat number 20. He's the world under-21 champion. A sight well worth seeing for all the people who've travelled this long way and made it all worthwhile now. And a different kind of horsepower now for the 3 riders who've made it to the rostrum. Chris Louis, Rene Ass, of course, and Tony Ricardson.